This is a Flying Cow production.
Well, hello and welcome back to Movie Battles here on the Flying Cow. Movie Battles is where we take the very best in Disney, Pixar trivia, and we put them head to head. I am your host, the Flying Cow himself, Clay Johnson, and here with me today to call this second round tournament match is sensational Sorsha Masters. How we doing today, Sorsha?
Doing good. I'm excited. How are you doing?
I am doing very well. Like I said, I'm very excited to be calling this second round match between the Chartmaster, Hannah Keefer, and the Philosopher, Kevin Poss. It's going to be a good one today.
It is. It is. I've kept up with the matches and I've seen what these guys can bring to the table, and it's going to be a fun one.
Yeah. I mean, obviously we've got Kevin, who is currently undefeated coming into this match, 2-0. But then we have the Chartmaster, the favorite of the match, who was a finalist in the last tournament, is currently 3-2. I have no idea how this match is going to go, and I'm excited to see. But before we bring in today's competitors, do want to make a couple of quick announcements. Number one, the format for this show is sourced from the Movie Trivia Schmodown. So if you like what you see here and you want to see more, go check that out at theschmodownlive.com and let them know that the cow sent you. Also, do not forget that the Flying Cow is not just on YouTube. We're not just Movie Battles. We also have a podcast feed that you can find on Google Play, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify. We've got a show over there right now talking about the best films of 1994. It's called The Academy. We're doing deep dives on some films there. It's a lot of fun. So go check that out. And you can also find us, you can contact us at the Flying Cow Pod on Twitter and Instagram. You can also email at theflyingcowpod@gmail.com. And if you can't remember all that, just on the banner right above us, just right there. All right. Well, without any further ado, let us go ahead and bring in today's competitors. Introducing first, representing That Which We Are, with a record of 2 wins, no defeats, and 1 knockout. He is the Philosopher, Kevin Poss. How we doing today, Kevin?
Doing very well. Thank you very much. How are you?
I'm doing very well myself, very well. It's great to have you back here. Obviously, you are here today in a second round match, going up against the Chartmaster, Hannah Keefer. What are your thoughts going into this match?
Definitely some nerves because she is a very tough player. I've watched a lot of footage. And, today it's just going to be me against the questions. And I'm just going to take it as it comes. And, as the questions come, and I'm just going to battle the questions one-on-one. And however they roll, that's where we're going to lay. But right. I do want to point out, I do have 2 TAOs.
Oh, okay. That's right. I apologize.
No, that's okay. But I do feel like that will affect me in this match because I haven't seen a third round question. So I feel like against Hannah, obviously, I expect to see a third round question today. So I'm planning on that.
All right. Yeah, we will definitely have to see what happens. So we're going to go ahead and bring in your opponent for today. And his opponent, representing the list makers of the world, with a record of 3 wins, 2 defeats, and 2 knockouts. She is a former tournament finalist, the Chartmaster, Hannah Keefer.
Hey, everybody. I'm ready to go.
I was about to say, how are we feeling today, Hannah?
Feeling pretty good. My last match did really well. I had that perfect accuracy throughout. I don't know that I can hold up that streak again. Especially, I did see Kevin's match, and he was very, very calm and collected. Knew how to play the game. So I think I'll have to stay on my toes for this one, but I'm still feeling pretty ready.
Absolutely. Well, yeah, I mean, like I said, coming off of that match, and as you brought up, that perfect accuracy, you only went to multiple choice a couple of times. So, I mean, not looking necessarily to do the same thing, but has your preparation changed at all? I know the last time you came in saying that you weren't doing any studying, you were just relying on your knowledge. Are you kind of feeling the same way, or did we delve into some movies at all?
No, I'm pretty much keeping it the same. I've continued to watch the matches as they come up and continue to play that way, and have been doing pretty well on those. So feeling pretty confident in that. But it so much of it comes down to the luck of the draw. And am I going to get movies that I saw 5 years ago and don't remember now,
Sure.
and didn't love enough to go back and revisit. And so we'll see. I'm hoping that last time some of the things that I had studied for in previous rounds came back to help me out. I'm hoping I can get to use some of this package film knowledge at some point.
Right?
So
it's got to be
yeah,
good for
so
something.
So hoping for some of that to come around again while it's still fresh in my memory.
All right. Well, without further ado, why don't we go ahead and bring Kevin back in here? All right. And we will go ahead and bring up the rules for round number 1. In round number 1, 8 questions from random categories will be given to all competitors. Competitors will have 15 seconds to write their response. All answers must be spoken aloud when revealing that response. All questions in this round are worth 1 point. If either competitor gets all 8 questions correct, they will have a perfect round and receive a 1-point bonus question. Competitors also have 3 repeats that they can use at any point throughout the match. So if you want to hear a question again, or you just need a little bit more time, use your repeats. Competitors also have a challenge that they can use at any point if they disagree with a ruling. If you have an issue with a ruling, you can make your case. And if it is upheld, then you will keep your challenge. There is no stealing in this round. All right. Are our competitors ready?
Ready.
Good to go.
All right. Sorsha, are you ready?
Good to go. Let's do it.
All right, then I don't know about you guys, but I feel ready for a movie battle. Action begin. All right, and we are going to start with question number 1 in round number 1 in the category of early classics. These are the films of the 30s and early 40s. And your question: in Pinocchio, what song does he sing while performing in Stromboli's puppet show? The songs of Pinocchio. Quite a question to ask about in this this first one. We're going to see exactly what song we're talking about in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And Kevin, we are going to start with you, sir.
But I got no strings.
Got no strings is correct. And Hannah.
Also got no strings.
All right. Slightly better grammar. I've got no strings. Either one will work. Going into question number 2.
Question number 2, the category is Renaissance, mostly 90s. What legend of stage and screen provided the voice of Mufasa in The Lion King?
The Lion King.
Everyone's
Sorely tempted
favorite
at this
cry
point
fest.
to do an impression, but it would be a bad idea.
It would be.
Yeah. In 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1.
Okay, Hannah, we are going to start with you.
I've got James Earl Jones.
James Earl Jones is correct. And Kevin?
If I missed this with a Star Wars tattoo, I'd probably get in trouble.
Darth Vader
That is
himself.
correct.
Yeah. Absolutely. All right. So they are tied at 2 apiece going into question number 3. The category of the dark times, films of the 2000s. In Bolt, what is the name of the young girl Bolt is convinced is in danger and needs help? Now we find out if they saw the John Travolta classic, Bolt. All right. In 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, Kevin, we're starting with you.
Emily.
Emily is incorrect. And Hannah.
As I'm sure is mine, I can't remember. I said Penny.
Penny is actually correct.
What? But that was her name in The Rescuers.
Point.
How
Yeah.
do you name multiple kids Penny?
I swear,
Nice pull.
I swear in a Disney movie, if you don't know the name of a girl, go with Penny.
Go with Penny, I
Because
guess.
they like pennies.
Good to know. My instincts were not entirely wrong. That's so
Knew it
weird.
had to end in a Y, but there you
Yeah.
go. I got you now.
Oh gosh.
All right. So Hannah takes a 1-point lead going into question number 4.
All right. Question number 4 is in the category of Pixar. Willem Dafoe voices the character of Gil in what Pixar movie? What a great
Gil.
voice.
Yeah, oh, I love Willem Dafoe. All I can think of, though, when I hear that name is that bit on How I Met Your Mother. Willem Dafoe.
Yep.
In 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1.
All right, Hannah, we are going to start with you.
Got Finding Nemo.
Finding Nemo is correct. And Kevin?
Finding Nemo.
All
Finding
right.
Nemo is correct.
So Kevin keeping it close. Hannah still perfect, 4-3. Going into question number 5 in the category of the decline and wilderness. These are the films of the 60s through the 80s. And your question: what are the names of Cruella's 2 bumbling henchmen in 101 Dalmatians? You know, Cruella is one of those like indelible characters. Like I honestly am kind of astonished that she didn't give me nightmares as a child, because she is such like a terrifying presence. But I think I always just thought she was fascinating.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And Kevin, we're starting with you, sir.
Horace and Jasper.
Horace and Jasper is correct. And Hannah.
Horace and Jasper.
Horace and Jasper. So Hannah keeping up her streak, now ahead by 1 at 5-4.
All right. So we are going into question number 6. The category is everybody's favorite package films. of the 1940s. The Legend of Johnny Appleseed is a segment in which package film?
Now, I do
Oh,
not
I know
think
this one.
that I watched this package film when I was a kid in school, but I know that this segment I watched as a kid in school.
Mm-hmm.
Rather an interesting story.
Yeah,
At least the way Disney tells it.
right.
In 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1.
All right, Hannah, we're going to start with you.
I believe that is Melody Time.
Melody Time is correct. And Kevin?
Melody Time.
All right.
Melody Time is correct.
All right. So
Keeping it
Hannah
close.
remains perfect with 6 points, and Kevin not far behind, only down by 1 with 5. As we go into question number 7, classics, the films of the 1950s. And that question, in Lady and the Tramp, what is the name of the relative Trusty is always mentioning? Nobody will ever let him tell this story. It's sad, really. I wanted to know this story.
I did too.
All right. Well, maybe our competitors can tell their own story in 5, 4, 3, 2, and repeat. All right. So we're going to have a repeat for Kevin. That's his first one. And the question, in classics, in Lady and the Tramp, what is the name of the relative Trusty is always mentioning? Enjoy this movie quite a bit. Have not made myself watch the live action adaptation. I love dogs, but
I do too.
Yeah,
but
in 5,
it doesn't appeal
4,
to me.
3, 2, and 1. All right. So Kevin, we're gonna start with you. See if that repeat paid off.
No, I don't think so. I think it's like Old Dusty, but
Old Dusty is
Marketable.
incorrect. So Hannah, for that perfect round, staying alive, what do you got?
I had to dig deep for this one back in the recess of my memory. I believe it's Old Reliable.
oh
As Old Reliable used to say.
I could hear that in my
head.
head.
Correct.
man,
All right.
Yeah,
Old is the good, yeah.
Old something, man.
Yeah.
I knew it was
And then Dusty to rhyme with Trusty, not a bad guess there.
something.
Yeah, it's not bad. But with that, Hannah takes a 2-point lead and remains perfect as we go into the final question of this round.
All right. Your final question is in the category of CG Revolution, the 2010s. In what year was Tangled released?
And this was the film that brought me back to Disney movies.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely had lost touch during, as I call them, the dark times. And
yeah,
I had no interest in seeing this, but I went with my sister and her kids and had a great time. Yeah. We'll find out what year was that in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1.
All right. Hannah, we are going to start with you.
I believe it was 2010.
2010 is correct. And Kevin?
2010.
2010 is correct.
All right. And with that, Hannah has a perfect round.
Nice job,
so she will get the bonus question. And Hannah, this question is only to you, so you do not need to write it down. Just answer within the 15-second time limit. And your question: What is the name of Jack Skellington's love interest in The Nightmare Before Christmas?
Her name is Sally.
Sally is correct for 1 point. So with that, Hannah takes a 3-point lead, 9-6 over Kevin, leading into round number 2. So let us go ahead and bring up the rules for round number 2. In round number 2, also known as the wheel round, each competitor will have up to 2 spins at the wheel. If you do not like your first spin, then you can choose to spin again, unless, of course, you land on opponent's choice, at which point it's out of your hands. Competitors will get 4 questions from their category. Questions in this round are worth 2 points. Multiple choice is an option. However, if they go to multiple choice, the value of the question will drop to 1 point. Competitors will have 15 seconds to answer each question. Opponents may steal if a competitor gives an incorrect response. Repeats and challenges are still in effect in this round. Do we have any questions going into round number 2?
Nope.
All right. So, Hannah, since you are currently in the lead, you get the choice. Would you like to spin first, or would you like to defer to Kevin?
I'll go ahead and defer to Kevin.
All right. So, I am going to bring up the wheel. Kevin, can you see the wheel?
I can. There we go.
All right. Then, Kevin, this spin is for you. All right, and you have landed on movie release dates. Would you like to keep it or spin again?
I'm gonna keep it.
All right, so Kevin has chosen to keep movie release dates. So he is going to get 4 questions in the category of movie release dates, and those questions are going to be asked by none other than me. So, Kevin, I'm going to ask you your questions in the category of movie release dates. Are you ready?
I am.
All right. Question number 1. Which Pixar film was released in 2012? In 5.
What's the multiple choice?
Okay. Going to multiple choice. And those options are: is it A, Cars 2, B, Monsters University, C, Brave, or D, Wreck-It Ralph?
Cars 2.
Cars 2 is incorrect. So, Hannah, you get the opportunity to steal. So I'm going to repeat the question for you. Which Pixar film was released in 2012? Was it A, Cars 2, B, Monsters University, C, Brave, or D, Wreck-It Ralph?
Cars 2 was my guess as well, so let me choose something else. I'm gonna guess Brave.
Brave is correct for a 1-point steal.
Yeah.
Could have sworn that was 2011, so I'm glad you took my wrong guess off the table.
Yeah,
but...
no, actually, Cars 2 was 2011. So you guys flipped those.
Okay.
Yeah, it's all right. All right, so moving into question number 2 in the category of movie release dates. And your question: what year saw the release of Sleeping Beauty?
Sleeping Beauty was 1959.
1959 is correct for 2 points. All right. Moving forward to your penultimate question in this round. Released in 2010, what is the 50th Disney animated release?
Go to multiple choice.
Okay. All right, multiple choice. Those options are, is it A, Tangled, B, The Princess and the Frog, C, Winnie the Pooh, or D, Wreck-It Ralph?
Tangled? Did we just talk about this?
A, Tangled is correct for 1 point.
I was crossing my fingers. You wouldn't remember that we had a question about that.
Wow. Okay.
It's all right. Sometimes the wording can.
I'm like,
can
there's
get in your
no way
head.
they can do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I mean, things come up. All right.
It was like 2010. What are you talking about?
I mean, you never know. There may have been more than one movie
This
then.
is true. This is
Yeah.
very true.
All right. So your final question in the category of movie release dates is The Hunchback of Notre Dame was released in what year?
Let's go multiple choice. Be safe.
All right. Multiple choice. And those options are, is it A, 1995, B, 1996, C, 1997, or D, 1998?
I'm going to go with 1998.
1998 is incorrect. So, Hannah, you get the opportunity to steal. Let me repeat the question for you. The Hunchback of Notre Dame was released in what year? Was it A, 1995, B, 1996, C, 1997, or D, 1998?
I'm going to say B6.
B, 1996 is correct for a 1 point steal. All right. So, kind of a tough round for Kevin, going to multiple choice a couple of times. Unfortunately, lost 2 steals to Hannah. So at the end of his round number 2, he is still down by 2 points, 11-9, going into Hannah's round number 2. So I think he's going to be hoping that Hannah spins something he can steal.
Right.
Which seems a tough call. A tough ask.
Well, I mean, you never know. So here we go. Let's bring the wheel back up. Hannah, can you see the wheel?
Yes, I can.
All right, then this spin is for you. All right, round and round it goes. What are we going to land on? Anything good for Hannah? I don't know. How does she feel about directors? Would you like to stay or would you like to spin again?
Oh, that's a tough call. That could really go either way. I think let's chance it and let's spin again.
All right, so we are going to spin one more time and see what Hannah ends up with. She ends up with Villains.
I'm much
All
happier
right.
with that one.
So
We'll see.
Villains, a rather popular slice
Yes.
in round number 2 of this tournament.
I was still hoping for package films. One of these days.
Sure.
One day.
I watched
One
them all.
day.
I have to use them for something.
One
Amen.
day.
I'm trying.
All right. So bringing up these questions, and Hannah, I wrote these just recently, just for you. So all right. So going into these questions will be read, of course, by sensational Sorsha Masters.
All right, Hannah, your first question in the category of villains. In the film, what is the name of... let's try that again in English for Sorsha. In the film, what is the name of the ultimately villainous Monsters, Inc. CEO?
Oh, I almost have it. Let's do multiple choice because I'll know it when I hear it.
All right, we're going for multiple choice. Is it A, John P. Westonhouse, B, Thomas K. Winterhoof, C, Henry J. Waternoose, or D, Michael R. Walterman?
It's C, Waternoose.
Henry J. Waternoose is correct.
As soon as you said Westinghouse, I was like, oh, it's Waternoose. So close.
Sometimes that's what it takes.
Mm-hmm.
All right, question number 2. Pat Carroll provided the voice of what popular Disney villain?
Ursula.
Ursula is correct. All right, question 3, your penultimate question. Who provided the voice of Ernesto de la Cruz in Coco?
Oh, shoot. I should know that. Multiple choice.
All right, we're going for multiple choice. Is it A, Benjamin Bratt, B, Antonio Banderas, C, Javier Bardem, or D, Benicio del Toro?
I'm going to say A, Benjamin Bratt.
Benjamin Bratt is correct. And your final question in the category of villains. What is the name of the town where Madame Medusa keeps Penny on a riverboat in The Rescuers?
I'm going to need multiple choice for this one, too.
Oh.
Oh.
Okay, we're gonna go for
Come
multiple choice.
on, go for it.
Kevin's like, I know it. I might still get it wrong. Rescuers has been a long time.
Is it A, Demon River, B, Satan's Ridge, C, Serpent Swamp, or D, Devil's Bayou?
Devil's Bayou. It's Devil's Bayou. D.
Devil's Bayou is correct.
Again, as I hear them, I'm like, oh
It's
man,
too
I knew
good.
it was something Bayou, and I couldn't get the beginning of it, but of course.
All right.
And with that, Hannah leads 16-9.
Yep, 16-9. So a 7-point lead going into round number 3. So let's take a look at the rules for round number 3. All right. In round number 3, competitors will pick 3 numbers ranging from 1 to 20 that correspond to 3 random categories. Each competitor will get 3 questions. Questions in this round are worth 2, 3, and 5 points respectively. Competitors will have 15 seconds to answer each question. There will be no stealing in or multiple choice in this round. Repeats and challenges are still in effect. All right. So going into round number 3, the final round, Hannah currently leads by 7. So Hannah, we're going to get your 3 numbers first.
This worked well for me last time, so let me ride that luck. 1, 2, and 3.
All right. 1, 2, and 3. And Kevin, what sounds good to you?
I will go with 7, 4, and 9.
7, 4, and 9. All right. And Kevin, after having 2 games in a row where you do not have to go answer
there we
any round 3 questions, you now are going to have to answer the majority
Most
of your
Let's just say all
questions
of them.
in order to send it back to Hannah. So we are going to start with your 2-point question. All right. Your 2-point question, you chose number 7, and that relates to the category of directors. All right. And your question for 2 points. Who directed A Bug's Life?
John Lasseter.
John Lasseter is correct for 2 points. All right. So that brings you within 4. Going into question, your 3-point question, you chose number 4 in the category of villains. And your question. Eleanor Audley provided the voice for Lady Tremaine and what other classic Disney villain?
The Queen of Hearts.
The Queen of Hearts is incorrect. The correct answer was Maleficent.
Dang.
All right. So with that, we are going to go to your 5-point question. Now, if you get this correct, you will have a 1-point lead. You'll send it back to Hannah to answer her 2-point question. However, if you miss this question, Hannah will win the game. All right. And your question chose number 9, and that relates to the category of movie release dates. All right. And your question for 5 points. Disney released 3 animated features in the year 2000s. In the year 2000. Name them.
Man.
You get 20 seconds for this, just so you know.
Yeah.
In 5.
Repeat.
4. Okay, that's your second one. In movie release dates, Disney released 3 animated features in the year 2000. Name them. In 5.
Repeat.
4. All right. This is your final repeat. And the question for 5 points in movie release dates. Disney released 3 animated features in the year 2000. Name them.
Treasure Planet. Atlantis, the Lost Empire, and DuckTales, Journey to the City of Gold. I can't think of the name of it.
And your winner by TKO, the Chartmaster, Hannah Keefer. We were looking for Fantasia 2000, The Emperor's New Groove, and Dinosaur.
I knew Emperor's New Groove. Crap.
Unfortunately, not there for you, Kevin. But let's go ahead. If you guys will turn off your cameras, we'll bring you guys back in just a second. Wow, that was quite a match. I gotta, I feel bad for Kevin. That was a tough tough match for him. I mean, he did well in the first round. It's just, unfortunately, Hannah did just a little bit better. And then, that second round also wasn't horrible, but Hannah was able to pull off, to get the steals that, he wasn't able to get. So let's go ahead and bring Kevin back in here. Kevin, how we doing, buddy?
I'm a little mad at myself that I missed Emperor's New Groove because I was literally just like thinking a lot about that movie, and it blew over my head that was a 2000 movie. Been real into the steampunk movies lately, so I was really into the Treasure Planet, and I think Atlantis was just a year after that, and movie release dates kind of just killed me today.
It definitely wasn't your category today, and I know your first game you actually got some steals in movie release dates. So
and last match I did 3 for 4 on the wheel with it. I felt really comfortable with it, and today it just kind of was a two-sided coin. It killed me. So I mean, I'll have to take from that what I can and do the studying that I can and just come back with a vengeance.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, a hard fought loss today. Nothing to hang your head about. But unfortunately, this is the end of your tournament journey. But I'm hoping not the end of your journey with movie battles. So do you have any thoughts about how you might start off your next season? Anybody that you might be looking to claim a victory against?
Whoever's out there that wants to take on somebody that's 2-1 with a it's kind of win it. I got 2 TKOs, and then now I've got a TKO against me. So I'm at both sides of the food chain, I guess you'd say, if we were Timon and Pumbaa. But but
I was about to say,
I don't hang my head at all against losing against Hannah, because she's a great player, and she definitely got in my head as far as getting that big lead against me. I haven't had that happen in this league, so that definitely put me on my heels.
Yeah. I mean, Kevin, whatever you do in these games, you do it big. You win big, or unfortunately you lose big. But either way, it's always a joy to watch you. Always a joy to have you here.
Thank you very much.
So definitely looking forward to seeing what you do next season.
Awesome. Thank you very much for having me.
All right. So let's go ahead and bring today's winner, Hannah Keefer, the Chartmaster herself. Hannah, I gotta ask you, how are you feeling?
I'm good. I'm feeling, as much of a lead as I went into that third round with. Those were a lot of near misses that I just, going with Penny for Bolt when I put that down, and was like, that's what I feel like it is, but it can't possibly be that, because that's her name. I almost crossed it out and wrote like Katie or something instead. And then the round 2 ones, there were 2 of them that if they had been asked as just general questions and I didn't have multiple choice, I wouldn't have gotten them. And so it was just, it really was, again, a lot of the time, we come in with a lot of knowledge, and what sometimes separates people out is not even necessarily how much they know, because Kevin clearly knows a ton, but it's, did it fall in their niche today? And that's tough.
Yeah, it's true. And I mean, I'm don't want this to get in your head or anything, but just so you know, since the beginning of the tournament, you have yet to miss a question.
That's
you
true.
have gone to multiple choice, but you
big...
have not missed since the beginning of this tournament. That's a
thing to carry with me going on. Whoa.
Right?
It'll be a relief when I miss a question, so I can just be done with that streak.
Absolutely. But yeah, I mean, so you are going to be continuing on in this tournament. In fact, you are going to be facing the litigator, Lauren Collins, in your semifinal match. I don't know if you were able to watch any of his previous matches, but do you have any thoughts going into that match?
I'm sure I must have seen one of Lauren's matches, but it's not coming to mind immediately. I'll have to go back and rewatch. I did have that thought as I was watching this, being like, I wish I had like paid more attention to like to Kevin's like what he was missing questions on before, in case I ever get that lucky opponent's choice option. And I had that thought. I was like, I don't know what I would give him because he seems to be pretty well rounded. So yeah, I'm Lauren's gotten through 2 matches so far. I'm sure he must be. Clearly knows his stuff, and so as always, I have my blind spots. I have spots that I just don't know, so we'll have to see if what I do know is enough to help me pull through the next one.
Absolutely. But I got to say, up to this point, you're looking pretty good. I mean, I don't want to say unstoppable, but I mean, you get 2 games in a row of 100% accuracy, and it's hard to give you any other adjective.
Yeah, I had not realized it this time for this game, and then I was like, oh man. I guess I should go watch Soul at some point, because that's going to be the one that was what I got. Every question I missed on the first couple was always a Soul question. I still haven't seen it, so I'll have to see.
Yeah,
That's
definitely want to. Yeah,
Yeah.
Definitely want to give those new films a watch, just in case they crop up in there.
I did see Luca and I saw Raya.
Oh well, there you go. So
got
yeah, why are you putting off Soul?
Because Jacob and I want to watch it together, and we just never find a time to do it. So
you and Jacob apparently never watch movies together.
We only watch movies that are not on our list to watch, is what happens. So we'll have to make that happen sometime.
Absolutely. All right. Well, Hannah, it was great having you here again. Looking forward to seeing what happens with you and Lauren in the semifinal. Yeah, it's going to be great.
Absolutely.
All right. So another second round match in the books, setting up a great semifinal. Really can't be anticipating that enough. But like I said, we have more of the second round match to go before we get there. So you got to stay here. You got to stay watching, and never forget, moo.